Hello everyone and welcome to the Online Hustle Podcast. As you can see or maybe hear, I'm not in the our studio right now, but in my beautiful country Sri Lanka. In this episode, I'm joined by Julius Rogonja, one of the founders of Ark of Sweden. Ark of Sweden have created an incredible presence on TikTok by raking in over 1 million followers by now. In this episode, Julius will take us through what it's like managing and creating a TikTok viral product, and at the same time, what it's like managing the expectations of your client. As a special treat, I'll be testing the guest product live by taking the Ark of Sweden drops. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Online Hustle Podcast. Today I'm joined by Julius Rogonja. Hopefully I've said that well, Julius. You are one of the founders of Ark of Sweden. This is the first time that I have one of the guest products in the episode. I know we're going to test this out together later on. But first of all, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited for this podcast. And I've been looking forward to speak about it as well. And I've been listening some of yours before that you made, and it was really legit. So I was really excited to get on that as well platform.
I really appreciate that. That's great. I mean, as you know, then I'll go straight into the questions with these episodes. And the very first question I ask my guests is, if you had to describe what you do to someone new, and even why you developed this new product, how would you describe yourself and what you do?
Well, to be honest, I do few other things as well. So like I always kind of introduce myself as an entrepreneur, but I always say that I have my brand, which is a breeding supplement. And I also always introduce myself as a breath master myself, and that I have created this supplement for myself. And I'm using all the time. And so I'm basically traveling the world and trying to spread the message all around.
Amazing. And I've seen that. And the main reason, I've invited you actually is quite strange on how we actually got to this point, because actually Valdas called me out of nowhere to kind of speak about the product and kind of talk about the possibilities of, launching the product in the UK and be able to sell it, on a stock basis, as the product's obviously manufactured in Sweden. So from that conversation, I've escalated it. Once I actually got to know Valdas, I realized that I've seen your product on TikTok so many times, and it's targeted me so many times, and it's all over the place. And you guys have 1.3 million followers on TikTok alone now. So the episode obviously goes around the TikTok side of things. However, because I'm such a fan of the product as well now, what I really wanted to know is, how did you, first of all, come up with the product and kind of come up with these products, the actual ingredients that are in Ark of Sweden, to kind of make sense of it and create this beautiful product?
So actually, I was a barber in beginning, and I was really good at what I'm doing. I was one of the most famous barbers in Sweden. And so, because like I always, trying to find ways to develop myself and everything. And but I'm 2 meters tall, and it came to the point that I had to quit my job. And but before I quit the job, I decided that I need to do something else. And so since I become famous barber in Sweden, and I realized that I'm pretty good on marketing as well. And I have a brother, he's a filmmaker, and I have a wife that she's an entrepreneur as well. And we were kind of a good team. And we always thought in the beginning, we just need to find some product, and because we all have a different strengths, and let's just create something, and probably it's gonna take off. And so when I decided to quit my job, I just started to research, what should I do? What should we sell? And we came across to one product, which one was blue light blocking glasses. And when I got this idea, it's like I just started to dive into YouTube and learn everything about e-commerce and how to order the product in China and everything. I found Alibaba. I started to learn about Alibaba, how to order. I started to speak with Chinese people, and how it was a headache to speak with them as well, because like I think they get tons of messages every
Yes,
day.
they
So
do.
I just
Yeah.
needed to kind of ask with one question, like, so I get like multiple answers in one way, and because they just get bored of you. And yeah, so eventually we started that brand as well. And in the meanwhile, my friend, he saw one product on the TikTok. It was there's a existing product already, and so he showed me this product, and I saw like, okay, what is this? It's just like some supplement, that expands airways and helps you to breathe better. And then I checked it out, and I checked that comments. There's like a lot of people wondering what it is, and then there is a lot of comments that, oh, I ordered like 3 months ago, it didn't receive. I ordered 2 months, I didn't receive. And I saw, okay, then probably this is a good product, and the people, they just don't deliver. And what actually clicked for me the most, because I'm into breath mastery and stuff like that, and breathing, I do that every day. And so when I saw this, it's like, will that help me somehow? And yeah, so we kind of ordered one product to try it, and then we really liked it, and that we just kind of decided to do it. And yeah, so since I already stepped into e-commerce, and I quit my job as a barber, and I thought like, okay, let's just go. So it took us like 3 months to develop design, the name and everything, and order some bottles, and find the mixes, and like find a formula that works for us, because we just didn't want to copy the formula from the people, because they use the ingredients that are not allowed in Europe. So we had to learn, our own way. And we hired the guy that can help us to come up with the ingredients as well. And yeah, we created a formula, and that worked in beginning, and we started to sell. And over the time, we just increased the formula, and it become better and better. Now is like, since after 1.5 years, this formula is best as ever was.
Yeah, amazing. Couple of things there. First of all, question: what was the first e-commerce site that you decided to sell on? Was it straight on your website, or did you try and look into other marketplaces to start with?
To start where to sell Ark drops.
Yeah,
we created our own website.
Yeah,
and I have a brother that is in the company as well. Yeah. And he's a web designer, and he's
amazing,
super creative as well. And he created the design and logos and everything, and he launched the Shopify page. And
amazing.
Yeah, we created our own.
Perfect. And then on the product development side of things, because you said about creating it and kind of seeing what was already out there, but you managed and worked to perfect it on a regular basis, and now you say it's one of the best. It's the best of the best in terms of the product that can be.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was because we always try to improve and make it better and better. And since because when it comes to supplements, it's much easier to do it than some beauty product, for example, because there is no chemicals in it, and it's a food supplement. And so you can just launch the product, and without needing any certificates, you don't need any license approval. You just need to follow the European standards. And so yeah, we kind of build our own factory, and then we started to testing out, and we saw that product, it was strong, and it worked. And then later we started to receive the products, the reviews from people that, oh, it tastes disgusting and stuff like that, and it's too strong. So we start to always try to reduce the amounts of ingredients that gives the strong sensation. And yeah, now, after a while reading and trying to become better, it's, as I said, is best as ever was.
I completely agree. I think, well, by trying it, because obviously I've been taking it, there is, I think, that first couple of times, because you're not used to it, it can feel a little odd, because it's such a unique feeling.
Yeah.
But then now I'm taking it regularly, it is an energy boost, and I can see the advantages of it. And I know, as I said, I will speak about it at the end, and you can teach me how to get the absolute best out of it. What I obviously want to go into now is the TikTok side of things, and that's the most exciting part I've seen. And I'd say, and I'm pretty sure you will admit as well, that the rapid growth that Ark of Sweden had is, one, obviously the product is very good, but secondly, it's the amount of effort that you guys have put into TikTok, because you are posting regularly. The videos are original and they're very unique. It's people reviewing the product and taking the product and reviewing it. But it's wildly successful, and you've managed to get so many followers behind it. In a more of, before we go into managing the viral side of things, first of all, how did you come up with the idea of going on TikTok? Is it because you saw the previous product being on TikTok? And obviously the secret that everyone wants to know is, how did you manage to get so many followers and get that fame?
Well, TikTok, actually, when I was a barber, that's where I got introduced with TikTok first. And like when I started to create my haircut videos, and I started to make some funny barber videos and everything. And that's when I started to realize that this platform is the best for growing, because as a barber, I was getting like videos that got like 17 million views, 10 million views, 20 million views. And so that made me to become really famous in Sweden, and like a lot of people was coming from all over Sweden to just get a haircut from me and take a picture with me as well. So that's how I got like idea, if we launch the product on e-commerce, and that we have a platform like this to just make a videos and go viral. And even with the glasses, when we launched before the Ark drops, we started to make a lot of videos, and I kind of got idea how to manage to promote post videos all the time, keeping in the same niche, and it went really good. We started to get some sales, and so, and when we came Ark drops, when we saw Ark drops, we saw what the other brand does, and I straight away got idea how to make it even better, and so I was really confident that I can take this, blow it off, and that it's gonna take really well.
Amazing. And on stepping back and understanding the way it started, when did the first video, because I've tried to look through it, right? But you post so many videos, and I think that's one of the main things when doing TikTok and YouTube and being part of your business. You have to be really consistent with the content that you put out there. Do you remember the first video, the first TikTok for Ark of Sweden going boom, and that's changed your sales straight away?
Well, to be honest, when I started the post on TikTok, I was really consistent from beginning. Like since the day I started, I have never missed a day. And because this is number one thing, for virality, stay consistent no matter what, and I always had this kind of, promise myself that I always gonna post. And I started to post 1, 2, 3 videos, and the third video started taking off, going viral. It got 70,000 views, and then it brought the first 2 videos viral. And then every video we started to post, you got 10,000, 12,000, because what we did, we created a mystery with our product, and when people sees the product, it's trying on that, and it's not too much information and everything. And you want them to go directly to the profile and to check it. So that's why the videos the product was so interesting, and people wanted to find out what it is. So it was, basically the third video started to take off, and 70,000, 80,000. Now, if we get 80, 70,000, it's really low for us.
Yeah, it's something that flopped.
The most viral video we had so far, it was 56 million views on TikTok. And so, before 70,000 was viral for us. Now it's just,
No, absolutely. And what's crazy is what you said about the intrigue and the mystery behind it, because I was exactly the same. The very first time I saw that product, I didn't end up buying it, but I did think about it, and I was always going to say, one day it will come to a point where I will buy this product because I really want to test it. However, I'm going to go through it later, but there was a little bit the same thing about the comments, about the negativity sometimes, and maybe customers not even understanding the product as well sometimes. But I'm going to go into that later, simply because I kind of want to know more about the TikTok side of things and how you, as a business, measure the success of it. Obviously, the product is viral, the business is viral. The product is very good as well. However, how do you translate the views that you get from TikTok to sales, and how much is that traffic? Is it 90% TikTok? How much of your customers and people that buy the product, how many of them are coming from TikTok?
Well, TikTok is actually up and down, and sometimes it goes viral, sometimes it's not. But luckily, we have another 3 social medias that can back us up, when TikTok is pretty low. But TikTok so far was one of the best social media that made us like worldwide famous. And I think within a year, like now we have 1.3. It was like over 1 billion views we received in total. And and to be honest, like what we do, we don't give too much information,
Absolutely,
and,
I understand.
And when people sees that, oh, you take some drops and then what a reaction, and it's like people laughing, people smiling, and you kind of triggering people's emotions, and that's when you put them in emotional state, it's like, wow, what is this, and they feel sad or they maybe feel anxious or something, and they see some girl laughing, from trying some product immediately, and so they get triggered, and we don't provide a lot of information on our videos, and neither in captions. We always say link in bio, and they go to website, and when they still in that emotional state, they just make a purchase.
Amazing.
And when the video is going viral, it's really taking off,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. That's exactly the answer that I was looking for, which is really interesting. It's right in the impulse buy. That's how we call it really in here. And I've done it so many times. It's as soon as I see something that I want, I try and purchase it as quickly as possible. And something that I speak about on a regular basis is in e-commerce, even for example on Amazon as well. Amazon Prime became a thing because you can ride that impulse buy. You buy a product and it gets delivered to you tomorrow, which is the best part of it. And I think it's the same thing, creating that sort of demand for Ark of Sweden product, where like people are seeing it, they're seeing the reaction, they're curious by it, they go on the website and they purchase the product, which is amazing. One question I do have on the videos, because overall in terms of the content, it's almost the same reaction that you get. It's different people, but it's the same reaction, and you're creating that sort of mystery behind it. However, how are you getting? I feel like you guys are traveling all the time, and there's different people, different times, completely different react. Like the reaction may be quite similar, but it's different time zone. It seems different type of people. How are you managing to get these people to be part of the videos and actually react to the product?
Well, to be honest, like it's me and my wife that travels the most all the time, and we're always super engaging when it comes to people, and we're always trying to create communities wherever we are. And so like since we have this product, and like when you engage with people, they always want to know like what you do in life, and you have this product, and then like not sometimes actually right now it's pretty often that people even knows about the product. When you show them, people, it's like, wow, I want to try it. And so we have it always with us, and we give people to try, and we found that reactions works really well. So we don't really want to change that, because I believe that like when you find the niche that really works with you, you always need to stick with that. And what we did from beginning, the reactions and how the reactions looks now is just like a perfection all the time. It's like you kind of maintain the same thing, but always adding slight details as well, and bringing like some, extra editing and some like conversations as well in the reactions. But especially in the parties, this product is like when people are like drinking or something, and like when they feel a little bit high on alcohol, and you give them to try this, and it's like, wow, that's when they get really the best reaction. And also the traveling part is really beneficial for us, because since we posting, every day, and it's like, for example, now we're in Sweden and we're posting every day. So people like around us sees the videos, and like they're just scrolling away. It's Ark drops again. It's Ark drops again. So they're scrolling away. And when we go to another country, we're always trying to either connect to their local IP, or buying the SIM card and always be on their internet and post from there. And when we connect to their IP, we start to even get this country's videos showing, in like Spanish, for example, and everything. And then we start posting. And for them, it's completely new when they see Ark drops, wow, what it is. And they always watch video, and the video gets more credits, and it just goes viral. And traveling actually and changing the IP, it's one of the best ways for us to grow. We had the most growing, like when we go to Thailand, for example, that product was completely new, because it's a completely opposite side, and we just been there for a month, and like every day we see sales coming every minute, followers growing in a minute, 100, we get messages that we can't even answer them. We have no time to answer them, it's like there are just too many of them.
Yeah. And that's exactly the next point I kind of wanted to go into, because I think it's almost easy running a TikTok account with you and your wife. It's already hard enough putting content out on a daily basis. The main part was running a business alongside the TikTok, and I've heard quite a lot of things from my own clients that sell on TikTok, that it is all about the managing of the stock and managing the demand and managing the customer service can be a little bit difficult, because especially when that video goes viral and then you get the click-throughs to your website and you're getting hundreds and thousands of orders at a time, I'm guessing that's not logistically very easy to do. So from obviously having a viral TikTok account with Ark of Sweden, how do you manage to actually fulfill all the orders and keep the customers happy?
Well, it was actually a lot of trouble, and we were struggling. I think we were out of stock like 3 times.
Yeah.
And we knew that there is like a strategy to keep it, out of stock. But like, we always had sales going, and like we just didn't need to use the strategy. And so what we did, first thing, I have a brother that was in UK as well, and he was working in a big company as a manager, like, and getting a good salary and everything. He was like established there, and so we had a call with him. It's like, bro, we need you here in Sweden. Whatever you get, you're getting much more here, and we need the help. The business just growing crazy. And so he just came here, and then he brought his family, and now he lives here. He works with us. He helping us with the customer service. And in beginning, we had the production ourselves, and so that was the most annoying part of us, because that's the part that always kept us in Sweden as well.
Yeah.
But now when it started to grow more and more, and like we just want to be more free, and we don't want to do factory work anymore, so we just outsourced. We're buying huge quantities, so we always have a stock ready, and for any viral video that's coming.
Yeah. Amazing. So that's how it's changed. So it started from you guys doing it on your own. I'm guessing bottling everything on your own as well.
Yeah.
Now it's all outsourced.
Yeah, we learned everything in beginning. Like when we got this idea, and we thought, maybe we should hire the factory because like we need some certifications and everything. We can't just make like product and then sell it to people, like not knowing what it is. But apparently you can do that when it's a food supplement, and it's just like, because it's like all the ingredients are like considered as a food supplement, so it's just basically like making a sandwich and And what we did, we learned a little bit how to mix it and everything. We learned the machine. We found on YouTube, the machine that fills up the bottles and everything. We ran the place to kind of have it where to make the production, and we made a system as well. In the beginning, we worked the whole day. It took us like whole day to make 250 bottles. And then later we become like so good in 5 hours, we made like 3,000 bottles.
Wow.
Yeah. So we developed the system that worked for us really well. And
No, that's really good. I mean, I think from any success story that I've heard, it almost definitely starts like that. Pack on your own, start small. And then when you see the volumes, all of a sudden you can go and outsource, and that's part of business, right? So I think it's good for you as well, because you're saying about the love of traveling that you get and you and your wife get. I think that's really important, right? So, and it gives you the opportunity to film more content, which is obviously essential for your business. In the next bit, I obviously wanted to speak about that I will already mention is the customer side of things and the customer review side of things. So from what I can see right now, your website has a few hundred, well, actually quite a lot of hundreds of reviews. It's at an average of 4.4 out of 5 stars. Now, that's first of all, that's really high. That's excellent on Trustpilot, for example. So we've already talked about how to maintain that through the supply chain and making sure you fulfill the goods. But did you have, because I remember seeing the first comments on TikTok on the negativity side behind it, because some people didn't understand the product. How did you kind of deal with that side of things? Because I think with every viral product, as much as the perks are obviously being famous, selling quite a lot, the negative side of things is obviously some people don't understand the product, or you have your competitors hating on you as well. So how do you kind of manage that sort of expectation around the product?
Well, to be honest, like there's always going to be haters, and whatever you're gonna do, and like I always was afraid of the haters and of negative comments, but then I realized that these guys are like the best for the business. Actually, these guys are the ones that going to rewatch the video. These guys are the ones that are gonna share this video to someone and leave the comment. That video gets viral. So we're not mad, on anyone, and we always like trying to let them speak on our social media. And there's some people that are pretty disappointed of the product as well, because like when they see the product and they just go straight away on the website and buying without knowing what it is, And if people who scrolling and they just thinking, they see this, they think it's a drugs, and they're gonna get high. So these are the people that always get disappointed, because our product doesn't make you high, It can wake you up, it can boost you up, but it's not gonna keep you high, That's what people are looking. So that's why they leave those bad comments. But people who are in the holistics, interesting in holistic, like breath mastery, like meditation, or just like for purposes like going on a road trip, or sitting in office, working all day and just taking this bottle and then a few drops, and then opens up your nostrils, opens up your airways, and it's allow you to breathe, and it's just like this relaxation that boost you get from the oxygen flow. It's like these people are the best for us, and especially people who has breathing problems, asthma, or sinus problems, COPD. Those are also our best clients. But yeah, it's just like people who are thinking that it's a liquid cocaine, then they're really, really disappointed.
Yeah, of course. And from your perspective, obviously being there's many times where I've heard where you shouldn't necessarily love the product that you sell because you don't see the reality of the product. You don't see what, customers see. You don't see what, those negative, haters see as well, because you're in so love with the product. However, in your case, because it's a consumable product, it's something that you use every day. How does that affect your idea on how to make the product even better and come up with maybe the next consumable product?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I really love our product, and when we improved and everything, and when I started to use for the basically consciously and holistically, for my breath work, for meditations, and just like also always have a bottle. And I really fell in love, and I'm not feeling shame just going around and speaking in front of camera and saying that this is my product, because a lot of people, they just don't want to show their faces and anything when they sell. And also what we do, since I love the product, I fell in love with the brand, and I just want to expand the brand in the way that I'm going to continue to love it. I don't want to bring some product that I don't believe anymore. So we have another product, and which is also sex booster, and this product has even better reviews, better feedback on our product, and has much better returning, and and all the products we want to bring fundamental behaviors, and a breathing, sex, grounding, and make it modern, all the ancient plant medicines, and just make it really famous, because these medicine can help us, can heal us, and it's just the way people look nowadays at this, it's it's just some drugs or some
it's and that's the best thing about it, is the way you're describing it. What people forget is that the ingredients are natural. They're natural products. Everything is 100% vegan as well, if I'm correct. Which is
all natural.
Which is the best part of it. And when I take it, I always think, it tastes like a very strong peppermint tea, but the effect that I get from it, it's so different and so unique. So as I said, we're gonna try it at the end of the episode anyway. But before we go, I appreciate you mentioning about the other product, because right now, the way I see the TikTok account move as well, it's continuous content. And that's one thing that I spoke about in some of the previous episodes as well, where the content and being reliable behind it is very, very important. Making sure that if you start it, you upkeep it and you keep going with it. And you and Ark of Sweden are the perfect example of that happening, because of the amount of times of you guys post a day even is very impressive, and it's very unique. It's different people reacting to the product itself. So how do you see developing? How do you see the future of the product and the future of Ark of Sweden going?
Well, the future of Ark of Sweden, as we said, we want to, at me as a breath master, for Ark drops, it's I still feel that this is undiscovered diamond, and so we have a lot of work to do with that. And that's the reason I became a breath master myself, so I can travel the world and meet every breath master, every yoga instructor, and everyone. And I already done so many, I met so many breath masters, and I gave them to try. All of them gave us the best feedback, and I had the reactions, and the reactions went super viral. And they're when they see us growing themselves on our platforms, they always want to connect. They want to work with us, and we're happy with that. And that's how we want to give to the right hands. And in the future, we want to have a products that is helping us for all everyday life. And we had this idea about four elements, which is like wind, fire, water,
earth, wind,
ground.
water, fire.
We have a wind, which is like a breathing, and we have a sex booster, which is fire. And then we are testing out another product, which is like a earth element, and for grounding and for also energizing. And then we have a water product. But since I'm going to have a lot of connections with the yoga masters and breath masters and all the meditation facilitators, I want to bring them in the game as well. I want to maybe create some app where we can all of us have a something to present and
like a community.
Make a community.
Amazing. I really appreciate that, and kind of seeing. I'm really looking forward to seeing the future and the way those new products go as well. It will be really interesting to see how you can bring that natural ingredient supplements as well into the world. One final thing that I've already mentioned as well is dealing with dupes, because you have had, and one of the pinned videos on Ark of Sweden is someone trying to kind of ride your success and sell your product, for example, on Amazon. But you were adamant that wasn't you. So how did you deal with that? How do you deal with kind of changing the imagery behind it, because that wasn't you selling the product?
Yeah, in the beginning, I kind of, when I saw it, a first fake product and with our logo, and it's like, I was super mad. But then eventually, like, I started to kind of think that we're doing something right here. If people are copying us, it's like, I felt like this is like a Louis Vuitton bag, that like so many copies are made and like they just using it. But of course, we just try to shut them down by connecting, like platform administrators, and we have a trademark as well. And making the videos, warning people about the product. And it's so many fakes right now, many fakes of us, and like people selling everywhere on Telegram, and they selling on Instagram, without having a website, and they posting our videos, our videos going viral on their platform, and people messaging, and they just send the link, where you can buy through Bitcoin or or money or cash, and they send the bottle, and the bottle is completely different. And I don't know if they tried it or not, and then they contacting us asking for a refund. It's like, why we supposed to refund you? Like, you haven't even bought from us. And but like you're not dealing with that. And it's like, of course we're dealing with that. It just takes time, and we always try to find who's behind it, what they're doing this, and to deal with that. And we have some people, that always want to help us, and they're contacting, and they're going to visit the people who's selling, and because we have such a big audience, and people just always want to connect with us.
Amazing. I mean, it's a testament to the product, right? It's people see the success of it. They want to replicate it. I've actually seen other on TikTok other products that are very similar. There's other ones that I now don't remember the name of that I see, but I'm not as convinced because the following is not as big. It's not as famous, and it hasn't got as many reviews. And the negative reviews are a lot higher in these other providers. They're probably not even the same product, but I see these different products that are coming out that are not necessarily as good. And it gives you testament to your product. But I mean, thank you very much. What I go to now is that final section. And I know we can't see it on the screen here now for ourselves, but I know you've sent me a picture of you from 10 years ago. And the main reason I asked for that from my guests is because we have a whole section called Believe It or Not. Okay, so the section goes, if believe it or not, the year 2013 is now 10 years ago. Okay, I don't know if it shows our age, Julius, but 10 years ago feels like 2013 seems like yesterday to me. But if there was one piece of advice that you would give yourself 10 years ago, what would that be?
I don't know. I guess starting a Bitcoin.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that because I normally didn't tell you. So the very first thing I normally say is, what would that be? And it can't be investing in Bitcoin. So
Yeah.
I wanted to test you and kind of see what your answer was going to be. So you kind of proven me that that is a cheat code. So you're not allowed to invest in Bitcoin. What is the other advice you would give yourself?
Yeah, well, I think always stay curious about life, because when you are curious and you always finding how to evolve, how to grow, and like be open-minded, and yeah, just become better and better version. Like I used to be really closed, my aura was super closed, and when I met my wife, and she was like everywhere, she's like super social, want to do things and everything, and like she pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I was like having all these anxieties and everything, and yeah, and basically I just had to catch up with her,
Yeah.
because she was like really interesting. I'm always curious to try new food, to go to new location and everything. And for me, it's like, it's somehow I was too close in my comfort zone, that like, I don't know, like if I want to do that, but like when she pushed me out of that, it's like my mind just opened up, and I'm so grateful that I met her, because probably I would never experience, what life has to offer. And when you come out, from comfort zone, when you start becoming friend with the discomfort, when you become curious, it like opens up your creativity, and like now we get so many ideas all the time to do. And now when our business grew up, and Ark of Sweden, and we started to invest money in one business, in another business. We started to travel. We started to look for a new location where we want to grow and evolve. But always it was like somehow stay in one place, and I'm really grateful that pushing myself out, and becoming curious, it got me where I am now. So yeah, it's like, I'm really grateful that I met my wife, and if I wouldn't met, that's, yeah,
would have been different.
Yeah, it would be different. And what would happen if I was curious, since I was 10 years ago, and I would probably, I don't know, I just don't want to think, but
That's good. That's really, really good. That's good piece of advice as well. Right. It is time. This is the first time that I'm going to try someone's, well, I guess, product and live. But what I wanted to, I've been taking this, and I can already say I have quite a lot of sinus issues, and I've already told you this.
Yeah.
And you say you're a breath master as well, which is really important. Can you guide me through how to take these and get the absolutely best out of it? So,
yeah. So since the bottle been standing on the table,
you want to shake it?
I would always like just give a better shake, for like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, because all the oils is mixing up really well, and it becomes sweeter, and it becomes smoother, and it becomes, it tastes really good as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you give a good shake, and if you want to have a really good boost, I would recommend you to take a 0.5. But if you just want to have a good boost, and
I've been taking 0.25, so I'm going to take 0.5.
This I still, until you never build tolerance with that,
Yeah.
All the time when you take it, you react as a first time. So,
okay.
0.25, and then just drop it on the tongue and swallow it. When you swallow, just take a deep breath through your nose.
Oof. Same reaction, yeah. He doesn't get old.
Opens up, the sinuses and like all the nostrils and everything, and throat, and like when breath masters try this, they always think, wow, what this could do, in the workshop of breath.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'll put it in the camera as well for anyone that can see. If you can see it right there. it's a final question that I ask. How can people that have listened to this podcast get in touch with you, and most importantly, get to know about Ark of Sweden and buy your products?
Sorry, can you?
Well, how can people get in touch with you, get to know you as well, and how can they buy Ark of Sweden drops?
Well, when they get in touch with me, and I always give them a discount, a personal discount.
Amazing.
And I find their interest, and if it's personally through me, and
And then what is the website link to buy the products?
The website is www.arkofsweden.com, arkofsweden.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Julius. I really appreciate it. I was very excited for this episode. I know we had a couple of technical difficulties, but we're finally here. I still feel so good after taking that. I really do, and I appreciate that. I feel like I have an extra boost for this evening, but I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be on your podcast. And if there is another success we want to talk about in future, I'm always welcome.
Hey, absolutely. I cannot wait. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bro. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Online Hustle Podcast. We hope you found the conversation insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to connect with our guests or learn more about their work, you can find their contact details in the episode description below. Stay in the loop with us, following us at the Online Hustle Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And remember, if you're looking for an expert guidance on e-commerce or have questions for our strategy and growth team, you can reach out to us via our website at strategy.avarsgroup.com or drop us a simple email at strategy@avarsgroup.com. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes where we continue to unravel the strategies that drive online success.